Commentary, of course, is one of the founding journals of neoconservatism. And if there is such a thing as neoconservatism, Commentary is its, remnant. It has always been grievously and profoundly misunderstood. It was the doctrine of the non-neoconservative conservatives, the hardline conservatives, after the Second World War, that Soviet communism and then Chinese communism were so evil, so barbaric, so anti-Christian. I mean, it was like the godless communism that was represented here, that the only proper moral policy was called rollback, that our foreign policy goal should be to affirmatively roll back communism, to remove it from the regimes that the Soviet Union had essentially helped take over in Eastern Europe and the Baltic states, and maybe from the Soviet Union itself, and maybe China. Who lost China? That was the big cry, was who lost China? We need rollback. Rollback was an unachievable utopian dream, because the United States was not going to go to war just after having come back from war to liberate countries under the Soviet yoke. And we didn't know what the order of battle was. We ended up having a proxy war instead between a communist and a non-communist regime. That was in Korea. That was the first war of containment. Containment was the policy that what you try to do, to the extent that you can, is contain your enemy in the space that it already holds. Do not let it be adventurous. Do not let it expand its reach. And that if you did this, and we did it haltingly and mistakenly and in a lot of bad ways over the course of the next 40 years, but if you do that, communism is unworkable. Not only is it an evil philosophy, but it is an unworkable governmental system. It will fall apart of its own internal contradictions. Power cannot be levied this way forever. The country will become incredibly poor because it's going to use a command economy structure and an anti-market structure and all of that. And it will end up oppressing its people to the extent that they will not believe anything that's said and anything that's done. And the policy against Iran that was enumerated in that article by my father, The Case for Bombing Iran, in 2007, that John McCain supported when he said we should bomb Iran, that everybody who said we need to prevent Iran from going nuclear, was a policy not of regime change and not of revolution in the Middle East. It was a policy of containment.